Hi guys, and welcome to the Sunderland vs Gillingham match preview. Now, it feels like it's been absolutely ages since we've last done a preview or a review on this channel, given the recent international break. But before we do get into it, I always do something a little different. Something I haven't done for a very, very long time on this channel is a question of the day. So I'm going to start doing that on the videos because it gives you guys something to comment as well down below. And I always like to interact with you guys anyway. So here is the first question of the day. And I'm going to go for the simple one is, where are you watching the channel from? I often ask this question when I'm doing live streams. It's really interesting because you often find people all over the globe somehow coming across this channel, which I just find absolutely amazing. So if you let me know in the comments down below where you're watching from, generally you get about 60-70% from the northeast, of course, but you get some really, pardon me, excuse me, you do get some pretty interesting places that you guys are watching me from. But either way, into the preview to this game. It is another must win. And I've said this every time for the last sort of 5, 6, 7 games now. All we can do is keep on winning, because after recent results when we haven't been playing, we have now found ourselves out of the playoff places, and all we can do is win games. I've seen people already write off our season. For me, it is not over. It is nowhere near over. There's teams above us that I still believe will drop points, and like I say, all we can do is win games. It isn't as easy as that, but it is as simple as that. That is all we need to do. Keep winning games, and I thoroughly believe that we will not go up, sorry. Well, maybe go up, we'll see. But we will get ourselves a place in the playoffs if we continue to do so. I do think we will lose at least one. In my prediction for the league table a couple of episodes ago or a couple of videos ago, I did predict that we would get beat by Oxford, and I think we'll get a draw in the rearranged game against Rotherham. But other than that, I've put a win for the remainder of the games. And if that is the case, even then there is a chance that we will not go into the playoffs. So, you know, we need to keep on winning games. We can keep on saying that. It will not get much easier against Gillingham, because Gillingham, you know, their table position at the minute, 19th. It doesn't sound great. They didn't do well under Evans, or at least it wasn't going well under Evans. But Neil Harris has put a breath of fresh air into that side. They look really dangerous now. They've got a side there who, you know, they might not be sort of glitz and glam and all that kind of stuff, but what they've got there is a team that will run through brick walls for Neil Harris. And to come somewhere like the Stadium and get a team like that, it's always really, really hard to play against. But look at their recent run of form. They're one of the more informed sides in the league, really, beating Accrington Stanley away from home by 2-1. We know it's not always an easy place to go. Accrington, before that, they drew 0-0 against Sheffield Wednesday. Again, we know that isn't an easy task either. They were at home in that game, and if you have a look at the game as well, Gillingham, they're probably a bit hard done by not to come away with all 3 points against Sheffield Wednesday there. Before that, they did get a beat at the Valley against Charlton. Again, you know, a 0-0, but again, it was another game where they definitely should have come away with more than that, 100%. You know, they look a lot better. Gillingham, a lot more organised. Before that, a win against Dhannoo, 0-0. Before that, they did suffer a pretty heavy defeat at home. They had a man sent off, but also got beat 3-0 by Bolton. Before that, 2-0 win against Lincoln. So they are an informed side. They aren't bad, and I think their place in the table doesn't represent how they're doing at the moment. Of course, because they had such a bad season, or at least a large part of the season with Evans, it's left them where they are. But, you know, it was only, you know, a month or two ago, a couple of months ago, I thought they were dead and buried and they were going down to League Two. I said a lot of Gillingham's fans. But Neil Harris has turned it around. You know, they play the 3 at the back, very similar to us, so I think they might match us really with our system. We've started playing this 3 at the back, although in my preferred 11 you'll see that although I've kept the 3 at the back, I'm not a fan of it because I don't think we have the players to play the 3 at the back. But I have adjusted the personnel ever so slightly despite the recent good run of form in terms of clean sheets. I have changed it ever so slightly, which I will explain. But yeah, it's going to be a difficult game. They play wing-backs as well. You know, their wing-backs at the moment, that I think Gillingham fans will agree, they're not best defensively, but going forward, they have that little bit of pace. They can threaten us, and they will threaten us, and I do think it is going to be a real difficult game. But for us, of course, in recent times, we played Lincoln, drew 0-0. You know, some people confused my sort of review with me saying I was happy with the result when I wasn't. I was just simply not even. The performance was good. It wasn't a bad performance. We played very, very well. But that doesn't mean me saying we played well. That doesn't mean I'm saying I'm buzzing with a point. Do you know what I mean? Some people do take it a little bit too literally there. It wasn't good enough. The result was nowhere near good enough. And on another day, we would have won that game 3-4, possibly even 5-0. We were that good at times. And I just feel like all it needs is that front 3, or at least the final third, should I say, to click. And we will start wiping teams, and I'm hoping that does start against Gillingham. Well, do I think it's going to be a heavy scoreline? No, I don't, because I think Gillingham are going to be very, very resilient. They're going to be tough, and a really good counter-attacking side, and that is exactly what they're going to be. But we need to start putting teams away. We need to be resilient ourselves, and we also need to be clinical going forward. Otherwise, there's no point. All well and good saying, oh yeah, we keep keeping clean sheets, but if you're not doing anything at the other end, it's going to be League One again next season. But I'm going to go into my preferred 11. As I say, I'm not a massive fan of the three at the back, particularly with Sirkin, Bailey Wright and Winchester, because for me, it does leave us, you know, you might say, yes, we've been getting the clean sheets, but that doesn't mean Patson hasn't had to pull off a couple of worldies per game. Do you know what I mean? It could have gone horrifyingly wrong if it wasn't for Pato. We do look very, very shaky with those at the back. You know, you've got a central midfielder naturally, Winchester at the back, Sirkin, who's a left wing back, you know, playing in a flat back three. It's a bit dangerous. So I am going to go for the back three anyway, because I know that he's more than likely not going to change that. So there's no point in me asking for anything else. But I have changed the personnel ever so slightly. And then, of course, you guys let me know who you would like to see in your starting 11 and whether you agree with mine. So here is my preferred starting 11. So as you can see, I've gone with Pato in goal. Of course, I'm not going to be changing him. But as a back three, Doyle, I've brought him to return. He did come on against Lincoln. I just think a more natural left-sided defender there, so then Sirkin can play in his natural left wing-back role. He's so dangerous going forward as Sirkin. He's so direct and he's a nightmare for defenders, and he's been improving defensively as well, but he is anchored back when he's in that sort of left centre-back role. So I just feel to give him that little bit more freedom on the left-hand side, and it's a bit more of a natural position for him. We absolutely see the best of him at the Sol. So I've put Doyle there alongside Bailey Wright and Winchester. For me, I've said many times, I would have preferred to see Winchester in midfield, but he's been playing there. May as well keep him for the time being. And Gooch on that right wing-back side, or sort of right midfield side, with Dhannoo and Matete in the middle. Matete did not feature against Lincoln. This thing happened, and to be fair, you know, as much as I slate Evans and a Goomstick, he wasn't bad against Lincoln. I don't think he was terrible whatsoever. And 09 as well, the only reason I've dropped him is then we can accommodate Neil coming in, starting, and then getting Roberts and Clark in and around Stewart. I know that the graphic on screen doesn't have Stewart. The app that I use, for some reason, Ross Stewart seems to have disappeared off the face of the earth. There has been rumours around Ross Stewart, not only regarding transfers, there has been a transfer rumour about him potentially going to Norwich, or at least Norwich are interested in him, which doesn't surprise me. You know, when players are in form, you do hear these rumours. Whether there's anything to it, I don't know, but we'll have to see. But there's also been rumours around him potentially picking up either a knock or testing positive for COVID, but none of this has been confirmed at all. I hope to God none of it is true, and he was just simply left out of the Scotland squad the other night because, you know, I know that sounds nasty, but of course we want a fully fit and firing Ross Stewart, otherwise we're screwed, and we don't really have any natural strikers. But if Ross Stewart is fit, he of course starts for me with Clark and Roberts around him. Clark did get a little bit of stick. He missed a couple of, well, say one of them was more of a sitter, but he makes chances. He's so dangerous, and yes, he did miss some really good opportunities. But, you know, there's a lot of other players, for example, Dietrich, who come on for me, who just does not contribute. Yeah, he can be a bit direct and a little bit annoying for the opposition defence with his direct running, and he has a bit of pace. But the last few times we've seen him, he is the Dietrich of old. When we first saw Dietrich, I was his biggest critic because he was constantly, what he was doing is just almost like a worse version of Gooch in terms of, you know, Gooch can, you know, turn the game on its head, and he does have that ability, Gooch, as much as people do like to slate him. But with Dietrich, he was almost the kind of predictable Gooch where as soon as he gets on the ball, he makes it so predictable what he's going to do. He'll try and shimmy his man, he'll lose it immediately, gets pushed off the ball because he's weak as piss, and then out of frustration, he'll just give away a free kick. You know, like a child has spit his dummy out and just kick out and lash out, gives away free kicks for no reason because he's just constantly losing the ball. And when he came in against Lincoln for however long it was in that stage of the game, that's all he did. He contributed nothing apart from giving away free kicks or simply giving away the ball. So for me, Clark starts, he makes things happen, regardless of his couple of misses, 2-3 misses that he made. He will make chances, and hopefully he will get himself on the score sheet as well. So that would be my starting 11. You could say maybe bring on 09, bring off maybe the likes of Clark, and then put 09 in between Matete and Dhannoo, and then go for a flat 2 up top with Roberts and Stewart, or maybe Broadhead if Broadhead is going to be fit. There's been rumours that he might be fit, so we'll have to see. But this is more or less what I would go with, and again in the comments let me know what you would go with. But now for my score predictions against Gillingham. Again, it's not going to be an easy game. I feel like for large parts it is going to be goalless. I think we are going to cancel each other out. They're a physical side, they're hard to take down, they're hard to break down, particularly with Neil Harris at the helm at the moment. But I do believe we will eventually break the deadlock later on. We'll get a couple of goals, one of them being from Clark and one of them being by Patrick Roberts. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Sunderland win, and an absolutely massive win that will be. Hopefully that is the case anyway. I hope I am right. Again, in the comments, let me know what you think the scoreline is going to be. But that's going to be my match preview to this game. Let me know in the comments down below everything that you think about the preview to the game anyway, in terms of your squad selection, your match selection, your starting 11, and of course your score predictions as well. But if you have enjoyed, hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, you take care and stay jamming.